Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and collectors. Top 1 today, we're talking about a coin that's both a piece of American history and a potential treasure hiding in plain sight, the 1957 wheat penny. While the idea of a penny being worth a small fortune might seem hard to believe, trust me when I say that this specific coin has the potential to do just that. If you've got one of these tucked away, you might just be holding a small gold mine. Let's rewind the clock to 1957. The United States was in the midst of the post-war economic boom. The country was growing, expanding, and becoming a global powerhouse. People were enjoying a new sense of prosperity, and coins like the wheat penny were circulating in the pockets of everyday Americans. At the time, the U.S. Mint was producing these pennies in high quantities, which meant that they were used in daily transactions everywhere, from candy stores to gas stations. While this made the 1957 wheat penny a common coin at the time, what we know now is that there's a lot more to this penny than meets the eye. The 1957 wheat penny was the last year of production for the classic wheat design. In 1959, the design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent, so the 1957 penny is historically significant as one of the final releases of this iconic series. It features the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. These simple yet meaningful images have made the wheat penny one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. While most 1957 pennies were produced in large numbers and are fairly easy to find, there are certain factors that can turn this seemingly ordinary coin into something extraordinary. As with any collectible item, the condition of the coin is a major determining factor when it comes to value. Over the decades, most 1957 wheat pennies were circulated, meaning they've seen a lot of wear and tear. Coins that have been through multiple hands, spent in countless transactions, and tossed into jars or drawers often show signs of damage. But what makes this particular penny valuable is finding one that's in exceptional, near-mint condition. A 1957 wheat penny that's been kept in pristine condition, especially one that has been stored carefully and never used in circulation, is rare and much more valuable than its worn counterparts. If you find one of these coins with little to no signs of wear, it's considered a treasure by collectors. Uncirculated coins, often stored in protective cases or well-preserved albums, can fetch a price far above their face value. In fact, these rare, well-preserved 1957 wheat pennies are often sold at auctions for impressive sums, thanks to their exceptional condition, but it doesn't end there. One of the key factors that make the 1957 wheat penny worth more than you might expect is its mint mark. The mint mark on a coin tells you where it was produced. There are 3 major mints in the U.S., Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The 1957 wheat penny was minted in all 3 locations, but the ones that come from the Denver and San Francisco mints can sometimes carry a premium. The mint mark D indicates a coin made in Denver, and the S mint mark signifies San Francisco. These variants can be rarer than the regular Philadelphia coins, which were produced in the highest numbers. One of the most intriguing factors about the 1957 wheat penny is the potential for rare minting errors. Mistakes happen during the minting process, and some of these errors can significantly boost a coin's value. For example, coins with double dies, where the image is struck twice, causing a slightly doubled image, are particularly valuable to collectors. A 1957 wheat penny with this error can be worth far more than a typical coin. These errors are often hard to spot unless you know what to look for, but when you do find one, it can be a real jackpot. Of course, like with any rare coin, the overall demand and market trends also play a role in determining the value of the 1957 wheat penny. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for high-quality, rare coins, and the 1957 wheat penny is no exception. The rarity of coins in excellent condition, combined with the possibility of minting errors and limited availability, makes these pennies highly desirable among serious collectors. So, what is the actual value of a 1957 wheat penny? For most people, a regular 1957 penny in decent condition might only be worth a few cents above its face value. But if you've got one that's been well preserved, graded highly, or has a rare minting error, it could be worth a lot more. While the typical value may hover in the low hundreds of dollars, there's a small chance that you could stumble upon a true gem that's worth much, much more. In fact, some of the most valuable 1957 wheat pennies, especially those in mint state or with rare minting errors, have been sold for upwards of $1 million. Yes, you read that correctly, $1 million for a single penny. A coin that you might have overlooked in the past could now be worth more than most people's entire homes, just because of its rarity and condition. The key takeaway here is simple: even the most ordinary looking coins can have extraordinary value. If you're a coin collector, or even if you just have some old pennies lying around, it's worth taking the time to inspect them carefully. The 1957 wheat penny may not seem like much, but in the right condition and with the right characteristics, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. Top 2 1949 today, we're diving into a truly fascinating piece of American history, the 1949 wheat penny. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny, how valuable could it really be? Well, if you've got one of these tucked away, especially in pristine condition or with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on something that's worth a lot more than you think. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at your old change in a whole new light. The 1949 wheat penny holds a special place in U.S. coinage history. As part of the iconic Lincoln series, it features the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. These simple yet powerful designs were introduced in 1909 and continued through 1958. But what makes the 1949 version stand out? To understand its value today, we need to look back at the context of the time point. 1949 was an important year for the United States. The country was still in the grip of post-war recovery, with the economy shifting from wartime production to peacetime growth. People were spending more, and the economy was beginning to show signs of prosperity. The 1949 wheat penny was part of this larger trend, circulating widely in daily transactions. But while it was just another coin at the time, its value today could surprise you, especially if you know where to look when it comes to determining the value of a coin like the 1949 wheat penny. Condition is everything. Coins that have been in circulation for decades often show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and general aging. However, the 1949 wheat penny is a great example of how a coin's condition can drastically change its worth. A penny that's been kept in excellent condition, free from the usual wear and tear, becomes a rare find in the world of coin collecting. An uncirculated 1949 wheat penny is far more valuable than one that's been through multiple pockets and spent countless times. These coins are harder to come by, and collectors will pay a premium for them. If you're lucky enough to have one in mint condition, it could be worth much more than the typical penny. And even coins that have been circulated but are still in good condition can be worth more than you might think, especially if they come from a unique mint. Speaking of mint marks, the 1949 wheat penny was produced in 3 different U.S. mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint mark on the coin tells you where it was made, and depending on the mint, the value can fluctuate. For example, the 1949 D wheat penny, minted in Denver, is generally more sought after than the regular Philadelphia coin, simply because fewer were produced in Denver. And if you happen to have a 1949 S from the San Francisco Mint, this can also be a valuable find, as these coins can be rarer in certain grades. But what really takes the value of the 1949 wheat penny to the next level are those special, rare varieties that collectors dream about. Minting errors are one of the most exciting things to look for in coins. A small mistake during the production process can turn a simple penny into a unique treasure. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die error, where the image appears slightly doubled due to an issue during the coin striking. If you find a 1949 wheat penny with a double die error, the value could increase dramatically. These errors make the coin much more desirable to collectors who are always on the lookout for unusual and rare finds. Another factor to keep in mind is the grading of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with mint state being the highest grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. A 1949 wheat penny that is in mint state condition is in perfect, uncirculated shape and has almost no signs of wear. These coins can fetch hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars, depending on the rarity and demand. And now, let's talk about the real eye-opener. While most 1949 wheat pennies are worth only a few dollars, especially if they've been well preserved or fall under the good or fine grades, a truly exceptional example can be worth far more. This includes coins with rare mint marks, minting errors, or those that are graded at the highest levels. So, just how much could a 1949 wheat penny be worth if it's in exceptional condition or features a rare error? The truth is, it could be worth up to $1,500,000. Yes, you heard that right, $1,500,000 for a single penny. This isn't some far-off fantasy either. There are collectors out there willing to pay top dollar for coins like these. Of course, the chance of finding a penny worth this much is rare, but it's definitely worth checking your collection carefully. A perfectly preserved 1949 wheat penny could change your life. In conclusion, the 1949 wheat penny is far more than just a small piece of copper. Whether it's due to its historical significance, rarity and condition, or potential minting errors, this humble coin has the potential to become a serious treasure. If you have a 1949 wheat penny lying around, it's worth giving it a closer look. You might just have something much more valuable than you realize. Top 3 1944 today. We're diving into a truly exciting find that could be hiding right in your pockets or collections, the 1944 wheat penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny is just a penny, right? Well, when it comes to the 1944 wheat penny, that couldn't be further from the truth. This seemingly simple coin is not only a piece of American history but also holds the potential to be a serious treasure, worth far more than its face value. Let's take a quick trip back to 1944. The world was still in the midst of World War II, and the United States was deeply involved in the conflict. The war had a major impact on the economy, with the government focusing much of its resources on the war effort. During this time, the U.S. Mint was facing significant challenges, including the need to change the materials used in coin production. With copper being in short supply, the 1944 wheat pennies were struck in steel, which is quite a bit different from the copper pennies that most people are familiar with. But here's the kicker, the 1944 wheat penny is one of the most historically interesting and valuable coins in the world of numismatics. Because of the shortage of copper, a special batch of 1944 pennies was minted using steel, which wasn't standard for that year. Though these steel pennies were supposed to be a temporary fix, they are incredibly rare today, and collectors go wild when they find one. The standard 1944 wheat penny is made of a copper alloy, but these steel pennies are a true anomaly that can send a coin's value through the roof. So why is the 1944 wheat penny so valuable? Let's start by talking about its design. Like all wheat pennies, it features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. These simple yet powerful symbols have been a staple of U.S. coinage for over a century. But what makes the 1944 coin particularly fascinating is its place in history. The 1944 penny was part of a larger effort to celebrate the legacy of Lincoln, and its production was during one of the most pivotal times in U.S. history, during a global conflict that changed the world forever. And now, let's dig into the real reason why this coin is worth so much to collectors. Condition is always a major factor when it comes to determining the value of any coin, but with the 1944 wheat penny, there's something else at play. Coins that have been in circulation for years, sometimes decades, tend to show their age. Scratches, discoloration, and general wear are common for coins that have passed through countless hands. However, it's the coins that have been well preserved, stored away in protective cases, or even kept in mint condition that are most sought after. An uncirculated 1944 wheat penny, for example, can be worth significantly more than one that's seen a lot of use. But it's not just about the general condition of the coin, it's also about the mint mark. The mint mark indicates where the coin was struck, and this can make a big difference in the value of the penny. For the 1944 wheat penny, there are three variations: the 1944p, Philadelphia, the 1944d, Denver, and the 1944s, San Francisco. While they may all appear similar, certain mint marks can be rarer than others, depending on how many were produced, but there's more. What really sends the value of the 1944 wheat penny through the roof are the rare minting errors. These errors are where things get truly exciting. Sometimes, a mistake occurs during the production of the coin, creating a unique variety that collectors go crazy for. For example, a double die error, where the image appears twice, slightly offset, is one of the most desirable mistakes. If you happen to find a 1944 wheat penny with a double die, it could be worth thousands of dollars, sometimes even more than that, depending on the severity of the error. Other minting errors that can make a 1944 wheat penny more valuable include off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, or die cracks, which create unique lines or breaks on the coin. These errors are highly prized by collectors because they're one-of-a-kind pieces, which makes them incredibly valuable. And now, let's talk about the ultimate jackpot, the 1944 steel penny. These are the rarest of the rare and one of the most coveted finds in the coin collecting world. In 1944, the U.S. Mint accidentally struck a small batch of pennies using leftover steel from the wartime period. These coins were supposed to be copper, but due to a mistake in the minting process, a handful of steel pennies were released into circulation. Most of these steel pennies were quickly melted down, making the ones that survived incredibly rare. So, just how much could a 1944 wheat penny be worth? Well, most 1944 pennies in average circulated condition are worth a few dollars above their face value. However, coins that are in mint or uncirculated condition can be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. And for those rare steel pennies or those with significant minting errors, the value skyrockets. A 1944 steel penny in top condition could be worth up to $1,900,000. Yes, you heard me right, $1,900,000 for a single penny. That's the kind of money you could be looking at if you've got a rare error coin or a steel penny tucked away in your collection. The key takeaway here is that the 1944 wheat penny isn't just another old coin, it's a piece of American history that could potentially change your life if you're lucky enough to have one in your collection. Whether it's the rarity of a steel penny, a minting error, or a coin in pristine condition, this penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. So, the next time you go through your spare change or dig through an old coin jar, remember that the 1944 wheat penny could be worth far more than just 1 cent. It might just be a treasure waiting to be discovered. Top 4 1994 today. We're exploring a surprisingly valuable coin that you might not expect, the 1994 United States 1 cent. Most people probably see this as just a regular penny, but if you look closer, this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth far more than just 1 cent. Especially if you know what to look for. The 1994 penny, part of the famous Lincoln series, marks a unique point in U.S. coinage history. We've seen pennies with various designs, from the iconic Lincoln Memorial to the modern shield design, but this coin holds its own significance. To truly understand its value, we need to take a step back and consider the history and the context in which the 1994 penny was minted. By the 1990s, the U.S. Mint had already been striking billions of pennies every year. The 1994 1 cent coin was made in large quantities, with billions of them flooding the market to meet the daily needs of Americans. It was a time when the U.S. economy was in a period of growth, and coins like this were circulating in nearly every pocket and wallet across the nation. But here's the catch: despite being produced in massive numbers, the 1994 penny has become much more than just a regular circulating coin. There's more than meets the eye when it comes to its potential value. First off, the design on the 1994 penny is what you'd expect from a Lincoln cent. The obverse side features the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial. This design had been in place since 1909, and although it would later be replaced with the shield design in 2010, the 1994 version still carries a piece of that long-standing legacy. It's not a rare design in itself, but the value comes from the condition and the rarity of specific versions of the coin. One of the most important factors when it comes to determining a coin's worth is its condition. When we think of pennies, we often picture coins that have been passed through countless hands, showing wear, scratches, and general aging. However, if you happen to have a 1994 penny that has been carefully stored, perhaps in an album or a safe place, and has avoided the usual wear and tear from circulation, then you've got something more valuable on your hands. A well-preserved, near-mint 1994 penny can be a valuable asset, and collectors are constantly on the lookout for coins in pristine condition. As with any rare coin, the better the condition, the more it can fetch in the market. So, what specifically makes a 1994 1-cent coin valuable? Aside from its condition, the most important thing that collectors care about is whether the coin has any minting errors or anomalies. Mistakes made during the minting process can turn a common coin into something incredibly valuable. Even the smallest error, such as an off-center strike or a double die, can make a coin worth far more than you might expect. These types of errors are rare, but they do occur, and when they do, the coin becomes a highly sought-after collectible. Some 1994 pennies might have doubled images, misaligned designs, or even unusual die cracks that collectors love. Mint marks also play a role in the coin's value. For example, the 1994 1-cent coin was minted in both Philadelphia, with no mint mark, and Denver, marked with a D, and the Philadelphia minting was far more common. So, if you happen to have a 1994 Denver penny in perfect condition, it might be a bit more valuable simply because it's less common than its Philadelphia counterpart. This subtle detail can often go unnoticed, but it can add a bit of extra value to your collection. Now, let's get to the most exciting part: just how much could a 1994 1-cent coin be worth? While most 1994 pennies in typical circulated condition are only worth their face value of 1 cent, there are some that can be worth much more, especially if they meet the right criteria. If you have one that's in mint condition, or even better, one that has a rare minting error, you could see it sell for a significant amount of money. A 1994 penny with an error, such as a double die or a rare misprint, could be worth a few $100s. But here's the real kicker: a perfectly preserved, uncirculated 1994 penny, or one with a significant error, can be worth as much as $10,000. Yes, you heard that right, $10,000 for a single 1994 penny. While this may sound unbelievable at first, the truth is that rare and unique coins can fetch astronomical prices on the right market. Whether it's a small minting flaw or simply the fact that it has been kept in perfect condition, there are collectors out there who are willing to pay top dollar for a coin that fits their collection. In conclusion, the 1994 1-cent coin might seem like just another penny, but if you've got one that's in excellent condition or features a rare minting error, it could be worth a small fortune. What makes this coin truly exciting is the potential it holds for being an unexpected treasure. So, next time you come across a 1994 penny, don't just toss it into your spare change jar. Take a closer look, it might just be worth more than you think. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden gems in the world of coin collecting, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. You never know when your next coin discovery could turn out to be a valuable one. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!